Welcome to this week's edition of Falcon Focus. I'm your host, Vaughn Purdy, with Simmons College of Kentucky as Director of Community Engagement. With me today is Food Service Manager Julian Sams. Our topic for today is food, wonderful food. Welcome, Julian.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining us on our show today. Tell me a little bit about how you came to Simmons College of Kentucky, and tell our audience a little bit about your background.
Well, how I came to Simmons was I was recruited by President Cosby to help start a band program.
Okay.
So, when I got here, the focus was on starting the band program, recruiting, bringing students in, developing a marching band. So that led into other things, of course, with food service. By me having a background in food service, when we saw the need that our students were hungry, I volunteered to kind of spearhead that initiative to help bring food to the campus. Well, it started early on. I've always had a knack for hospitality.
Okay.
My earlier years, when I was younger, I always found myself working in restaurants or banquets, hotel, hospitality. And I just took a liking to it. I saw how it affected people, how, just being around and fellowshipping over a meal and just enjoying life, and I got a charge off of that. Even when I was in school and in college, I would host events over my apartment, and cookouts, and have friends and students come over, and I would never really get engaged with everything that was going on. I would just sit back and see everyone else enjoying themselves. So It's just kind of bugged, it just kind of stuck with me.
Okay, well, you were affiliated with another HBCU in the state, correct?
Yes, I was.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Kentucky State University, my alma mater, the Kentucky State University, thoroughbred for life.
We will forgive him for that, audience.
That's my alma mater. Well, the bug hit me. I was hired. I was at Kentucky State and I needed a job. I've always wanted to work. My mother put that in me at an early age. So I reached out to a local hotel. It was the Capitol Plaza at the time. I think it's back as the Capitol Plaza now. And I was hired to work as a banquet setup manager. Okay. So that's where it all originally started. Working in banquets, setting up rooms, serving different guests. So I then became a supervisor. Okay. Later on moved on to a manager. So it's just been building ever since then. I've worked in various places. I've opened Taco Bell restaurants. I've been a part of management teams there. So it all really started with that first job working in hotels in Frankfort, Kentucky at the Capitol Plaza Hotel.
Okay. Well, tell us some of the hardest issues with just food service in general.
The hardest issues that I've realized with food service is you have to have a knack for people.
Okay.
When you work in food service, you have to understand that your customer, they're going to come in. Some of them have bad days. Some of them have good days. So you have to be a people person and you have to know how to deflect certain things. But that's your job as a food service person, is to absorb that energy and turn it positive.
Okay.
Because ultimately they're just coming there to get something to eat. So, I've dealt in situations where I've served food at funerals. Okay. So you have to take a different mentality because the family is grieving. Then I've served food at homecomings where everybody is celebrating and happy. So you really have to be a people person and really be able to adjust yourself to the environment dealing with food service.
Okay. Can you tell us one thing we may not know about food services that has helped you in your career, so to speak?
Well, I think one thing that a lot of people, my wife and I talk about this all the time, is that when you're dealing with food service, you got to understand you're dealing with people's health. People have food allergies, they're allergic to certain things, so you really have to make sure that you're paying attention to everything food service, because you're serving something that somebody's going to eat. And if you serve them the wrong thing, it could be detrimental. I mean, it could even lead to death in some situations, depending on the allergy that the person has. So when you deal with food service, it's very important, especially now with the COVID-19 going on, it's important to wear gloves. It's important to take those extra steps to make sure everything is sanitized and clean, because ultimately, like I said, you're dealing with people's health. So that's one thing I would say that people really don't know about the seriousness of food service.
Well, you, not only is food service maybe an issue for us here at Simmons College of Kentucky, it's also a national issue. I've been looking at some studies that have been found that students on HBCU campuses, not only at HBCU campuses, but campuses all across America, there was a study done with over 3,800 students on second and 4-year campuses that showed that up to 57% of students, in particularly African American students, had food insecurity issues. So I'm not surprised that that's been an issue here at Simmons College of Kentucky. So right now we're going to take a break, and after this break we're going to talk about some of the specific initiatives that have been done here at Simmons College of Kentucky.
Simmons College of Kentucky presents the Empower West Louisville 2020 Citywide Virtual Book Club. Join us Tuesday, October 13th at 6:30 p.m. as we welcome best-selling author and Gromeyer Award winner, Dr. Robert P. Jones, and an honest and open discussion about his book, White, Too Long: The Legacy of White Supremacy in American Christianity. We're streaming live on the Facebook and YouTube page of Simmons College of Kentucky, Tuesday, October 13th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Welcome back. This week we're talking with Julian Sam, Director of Food Services at Simmons College of Kentucky. Thank you again, Julian, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
As we talked a little bit earlier, food insecurity is a big issue on many college campuses. So we're going to talk about what's been done specifically here at Simmons College of Kentucky. So Julian, can you tell our audience some of the specific initiatives that have been done here at Simmons College of Kentucky to address our food insecurity issues?
Yeah, sure. One thing we've brought to the forefront, we've created a cafe on campus. When I first started working here, I noticed that our students were being fed from a food truck that would come up on campus every day and serve them just a very limited menu. And I went to the administration and I said, hey, look, we can do more than that. We had the facilities to at least serve something. So with the help of Dr. Frank Smith, we went out and we bought a hot dog roller and a popcorn machine and a refrigerator. And what we did with that, we served hot dogs, we bought candies and cookies and snacks, and that's how it all started.
So tell us how the students, I think a lot of people take for granted that there are full service cafeterias on most college campuses, but Simmons unfortunately is in a food desert here in West Louisville, and we don't have a full service cafeteria. So this initiative probably did a lot of good to change the food offerings for our students right on campus, and not only the students, but staff and faculty who are also seeking food options as they work throughout their day. So tell us a little bit about the how it has grown and where we are now.
Well, like I said earlier, initially when we first started, all we had was hot dogs and simple items. Then over time, we've had some help in developing more of a cafe atmosphere. We moved from one building to the next, and I was able to create menu items that were more suited for what our students were wanting. We started out with just making pastas. Chicken pasta, shrimp pasta, that's what we had. And we still had our hot dogs. Then we grew to a sandwich station. We started doing nachos, and it just grew from there. I mean, we just kept bringing in more food items to provide just a variety of foods for our students and our faculty and staff. And it's taken off pretty well, and we don't try to break the bank. We do understand that our students don't have a lot of money. So we try to keep our food costs at a level where we can still profit, but at the same time still maintain the facility.
Now tell us a little bit about, now we're not on campus right now, but tell us what your initiatives have been to make sure students who are still in the area are still being fed.
Okay. Well, as we know, Simmons is also partnered with Dare to Care,
Okay.
National Food Bank. So what we do in this sense during the COVID-19 season is that we make food boxes for our students. And we have a system in place where they can fill out a form and request food items that we give them a variety. For example, if a student wants Kool-Aid, but we don't have Kool-Aid, but we have soda pop. So what's different? Kentucky, they say soda pop. Some people say pop, some people say soda. But we give them the closest thing we can to the needs that they fill out on their shopping list. And they can either pick those boxes up at the 4th Street building, or we do have a system in place where we deliver it to our students where they live in the apartment complexes.
Okay. Now, how many students would you say you feed, or in a non-COVID world, how many students would you have fed, and in COVID world, how many students are you feeding currently?
Well, of course, the non-COVID world, our numbers are higher because students are on campus. I would say average in the cafe, which we call the Nest, we feed approximately 50 to 60 students a day.
Okay.
With the food pantry, because that is an ongoing thing, we give, because a lot of our students stay in apartments. You know, we don't have dormitories on Simmons campus, so a lot of our students stay in apartments where they have stoves where they have to cook. So we try to give them food items that they can take back home and cook. So on the average, out of the food pantry, I would say we service at least 30 to 40 students.
Okay. And tell us how that's working. Do you do it with, have you had help doing that? Has it
Yes.
started, and how long will it go on with that service?
Well, the great thing about the food pantry is that we do have volunteers that come in and help us put the food boxes together. Along with Dare to Care, we have the community who donate food to the food pantry. They'll call the school and say, hey, we have these items we want to donate. So we just instruct them on where to drop them off at, and we make sure they haven't expired or anything like that, and we give them to our students. So it's a community effort. You know, we have a lot of people in the community who really support the students at Simmons. So we appreciate all the help we can get. We just got to make sure that we just maintain safety and sanitary procedures at all times. So it's been a great opportunity. It's been a great experience. I think our students are appreciative to it because it's free food.
Right.
And it's an opportunity for them to say, hey, you know what? Instead of taking this $30 to go to the store, I can go to the food pantry and get groceries, and I can take this $30 and pay a bill.
Okay.
Or take care of other personal needs that I may have. So it's working out well for our students if they take advantage of it.
Okay, exactly.
They have to take advantage
What percentage of students take advantage of it?
Well, I would say at least, right off the top of my head, I'd say at least 50 to 60% of our students take advantage of it. What we're hoping to do is increase that number to 100% because, like I stated earlier, it's free food. So who wouldn't want to come get free food that can save you money in other aspects of your household? So we try to purchase and bring forth items into the food pantry that the students like to eat. If you think of the spoiled child syndrome, you know that those green beans are healthy, but the student, I don't want no green beans. But so we just try to keep it healthy and also provide items that they like to eat.
Okay. Now, tell us a little bit more how if people want to get involved, how they can help. We have a lot of donations that come in from private donors, churches, and most recently we've had a big donation come in from Kroger, as well as we started out some of our initiatives in the Nest with Heaven Hill, gave us a lot of money, and we have donors who pour in, many churches, many private donations that help us keep our students fed. But tell us about what initiative in particular has been done with the pantry, how you've expanded upon the pantry, and what the pantry really is to our audience.
Well, what our food pantry is, it's just a, basically it's a food bank that feeds our students. The partnership agreement we have with Dare to Care was specifically for Simmons students. So what we did was we just took the initiative of serving food to our students, and we just expanded on that to where we offer toiletries, we offer washing powder, we offer deodorant, toothpaste, just the basic necessities just to live. One thing that I've started this year with the blessings of donations is we've been able to expand the pantry to where we offer clothing, we offer books, we offer school supplies, we offer household supplies. I even have a automotive section now where you can get fix-a-flat for your tires, you can get tire shine. Some of our students have cars, and I know a lot of the guys, they like to keep those tires shining. So just through donations of many different things, we're able to just expand and offer not only food, but just other necessities that you would take for granted, but you have the opportunity to come get, and it's all free. It's all free.
So tell us what your plans are for the nest and the food pantry in the next 5 years. Where would you like to see it be?
Well, if I could wave a magic wand, just to continue to grow and offer more food items, more menu items. It would be wonderful if we can get not so much of a cafeteria, but an eating area for our students. Right now they eat in the student lounge, which is wonderful, but as we grow as a school, eventually that's not going to be enough. So hopefully that we can just continue to grow and offer quality food and just better food for our students and our faculty and staff, because a good meal goes a long way when you're having a hard day.
Good. It's very good, very good, very good. Now, one more question I wanted to ask. We talked about how you've also been helping students learn about food service management. So tell us how you are allowing students to help in the food pantry, in the nest.
One thing that I did when I worked at Kentucky State in food service, I worked for Sodexo and Airmark Food Service, is having the opportunity to hire students, to give them a skill set that they can use while they're in college or even after college. A friend of mine, I remember his name is Jason Johnson, good friend of mine. I remember I hired him when I worked at the Holiday Inn as a manager. And the bug bit him, and now this man is a chef, and he has his own business. So just me having the opportunity to give him that opportunity to learn a skill set that he's now taken and ran with it, and now he has his own business. So being able to give the students that opportunity to work in the nest or help with the food pantry, to give them a skill set that they can use even far after college. It's one thing that I'm blessed to be able to do, and I appreciate the opportunity to do it.
Now tell us, how old is the nest and how old, the pantry has been here for years, and how old is the nest?
The nest has actually been here, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 4 years. We started small, but God has blessed us, and we've been able to maintain and grow. So the nest has been here 4 years. The pantry, I just recently took over the pantry, but I know the pantry has been here at least 3 years prior to that. So it's just the opportunity, and it's a wonderful thing that's going on at Simmons, that we're able to help our students, provide them with a meal, because one thing that no one should ever do is go hungry. When you have free food. Now the nest, no, we don't give stuff away for free. But along with the nest, we still have an opportunity to give them free food. So we try to cover all bases so our students don't go hungry.
Well, is there anything else you want to add? Can you tell our audience how, if they really want to get involved, what they should do and how they can contact you?
Yeah, well, you can, if you want to donate, there is a link on our website where you can donate, the school website. And you can also, my information is there also. You can contact me directly, or you can contact our donation department, and they will direct you, depending on what you want to donate, they'll direct you to the right person to go about it. But eventually it all ends up falling in my lap, but we just have to go through the proper procedures to make sure everything is done correctly and with the proper procedure at school.
Okay, so everyone keep in mind out there that there are a lot of students here at Simmons, pre-COVID, post-COVID, who will depend on these donations just so they don't go hungry. So anytime you want to reach out to us, please visit our website, as Julian said, at www.simmonscollegeky.edu, or contact us at the Office of Development or Administration, and we'll get those donations and information to Julian. We also, if you're interested in volunteering, I believe Julian is packing bags for the students on weekdays, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So if there are offerings you want to bring, or if you even want to help pack the bags with Julian, please give him a call at 502-776-1443. Thank you for joining us on our show today. We hope you learned more about food services, and tune in next time on Falcon Focus.